Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu channel. We are live today, the 20th of October 2023, with our program we call Ubuntu Sports that we bring every Friday. Tonight, we'll be looking at what happened at the COSAFA tournament there in South Africa, the women's COSAFA tournament, and also we'll be looking at the friendlies in which the Chipolopolo participated last weekend. The first game we saw. Chipolopolo playing Egypt, and we saw them also playing Uganda. We'll be also talking about the 2023 or the upcoming AFCON that will be played in January. And also, it is a lovely weekend for us because we love the Zambian Super League. And this week, it's back after the international break. Joining me tonight is Lamek. Lamek, good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu Sports.
Thank you so much, Ruben, for the invite. I think it's a beautiful Friday, and a lot has happened over the last few days from the last time we were here. And I'm looking forward to breaking that down. I think there has been some interesting happening in the world of sport.
All right. Hope Joseph is able to hear us. Good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu Sports, Joseph. Hi, Joseph. Can you hear us? All right. Let me introduce Mr. Abia. Mr. Abia is joining us from Chipata and is a strong Chipata United fan all of a sudden just because they've come through. They're playing the National League. Good evening, Mr. Abia. Welcome to Ubuntu Sports.
Thank you so much, Ruben. It's a lovely good evening to you, my fellow panelists, Ruben, Ramek, Joseph, and the viewers. You're welcome. Yes, as Ruben alluded, I'm from Eastern Province with the Lion Boys, Chipata United. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Though your sound sounds a bit low, it seems like you're far from the device.
Oh, all right, all right. How about now?
Yeah, just there we are able to get you loud and clear. Let's start the show. Let's start with the COSAFA women's tournament. Malawi are the champions after beating Zambia, and it was really a clear win for Malawi.
Yes, a big win for Malawi, winning their first ever COSAFA Women's Championship title. For Zambia, I think we have ourselves to beat because we failed to live up to expectations. Yes, people will come here and claim that we took practically a new team which had 14 new players. But again, we set a standard really high for ourselves, and the compromise that we took, yes, it's good for football development going forward, but at that level, we can't give excuses to say we lost because of that. I think we just played against a better Malawi team that beat us fair and square, because I think we had the quality to beat Malawi, but again, coaching quality, the tactical approach to the match. Football is about tactics, and then the tactics will either win you a match or make you lose. For me, I felt that the team had overloaded the wrong areas of the pitch, so it made it difficult for us to even string 2-3 passes together. We saw a lot of long balls, which is not our style of play. And this has been this has been every time a Zambia team has underperformed at a tournament. The style of play that we try to play is when we try to play with the second ball, where we just kick and then expect the opponents to make a mistake. And then a lot of times we saw that with the under 20, we saw that with the under 17. Now with the COSAFA, we saw with the women's under 20 in DR Congo. It was one and the same thing. You're trying to just kick the ball up and hope that the opponents can make a mistake so that you can utilize and get a goal. But teams are more awake now, especially Malawi team that was very physical. Their body stature, they had more physique than us. What our biggest chance of winning that match was for us to play our usual game, deny Malawi the ball by keeping it, play short passes, move into transition, play quicker, attack using the flanks that we've always done. But every time we tried to hit the ball forward and expected that our striker Sarah Jelle, she's been good at the tournament, but she did not have the height to compete with those Malawi defenders because they were huge for her. So us giving her the ball, in the air was always -50, on her part. She had to do a lot more work for her to compensate for the physical differences. And then at the end of the day, with that tactical approach, I didn't think we would get anything out of it because the tactics on their own just let us down. I know people will say Malawi deserved to win because they were playing better from the start of the tournament, but we are Zambia. We've set a standard for ourselves, and then every time we play our usual game, we always get results at whatever level we've played. Every time we play our usual passing game, we get results. Whenever we start kicking the ball, we always lose. This has been the occurrence, and expected better because you play Malawi team. You can't play with 4 strikers. For me, unfortunately, you can't do that because now, if you look at Zambia tactically, they play with 4-4-2, and then the 4-4-2 had Susan Katongo and then Susan Banda playing as number 6. But again, because of the threat that Chawinga had, we had to drop Susan in between the center backs so that, because it was more physical with the center backs, they went punch for punch with Chawinga. So Susan Banda always provided that cover, which left Susan Katongo alone in the midfield. And then she was playing against like 2 very solid Malawi midfielders. So it was always difficult for us. So we needed more players in midfield than in the front lines. We needed to get the ball from our half and then play until we transition, and we let the other players join in attack and then try to get the ball. But as you saw, every time we hit the ball, the Malawi defense would always head it back. And then when they head it back, it would not go to a Zambian player, it would go to a Malawi player, which brought more pressure to us. Look at the second goal. They just hit one. Lushomo unfortunately failed to clear it first time, and then it ricocheted, like he headed it in the air, came back, and then failed to deal with that one. As she was trying to play a block, she accidentally laid the ball to an opponent, which the Malawians, that was on a silver plate. We practically gave them the title. Had we played our game, I think we had a better chance of winning the tournament. Yeah, but congratulations to Malawi. But for us, lessons learned. I think going forward, we just need to work better on our style of play, and then we can get back the COSAFA in the coming year.
All right. Thank you very much, Lamek. Our viewers, you can also participate during this program by typing in your comments. We're going to read all the comments just here. Let me bring in Mr. Abia. Mr. Abia, you saw how Zambia played throughout the tournament and how we failed to beat Malawi in the final. Malawi dominated the play. I know you are near Malawi there. Maybe your heart was half Malawi, half Zambia. But I want to get your feedback concerning the Chipolopolo's tournament on the COSAFA.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ruben. First of all, let me congratulate Malawi women's national team for winning COSAFA. Malawi is our 11th province here in Zambia. Our extended constituents in Eastern Province, so to say. Yeah, good luck to Malawi. It has always been Zambia and South Africa, Zambia and South Africa. But today, I think we have another new team, Malawi, to pick up that trophy. I think it's awesome for me because, you can't just exchange Malawi, Zambia, South Africa, Zambia, South Africa. No, we are powerhouse, yes, in southern region, together with South Africa, but we need competition. So, congratulations to Malawi. Coming to Zambia, I think, Ruben, we shouldn't blame so much this team because, as usual, the coaches decided that we are not going to have Babra Banda Leto Kundanaj in this tournament because we want to scout the potential of players that can play in the future Chipolopolo. And by having the only superstar that I know there was Rushomo Mwemba, even Susan Katongo, and I think the other two players. All these players were new. So I think for this team, just to come up with a draw and one lose from all the games they have played, you know, I think, and even reaching the final. South Africa was the defending champion, but they failed to reach final. And it's not easy to defend the title because all eyes are on you from your fellow opponent. So the mistake that we made, yes, can be well amended if you can work on it. But I think out of 100, I'll give the Chipolopolo 90%. Why? Because all the players that were playing in that team, most of them, they were new in this team. They have not been playing. So I think for them to just to achieve to reach the final and came out runners up, I think it's a best achievement that we can take. And going forward, like next year, going into the same tournament, we will see the different results because we have exposed them. We have exposed these players. They know what the mistake they did. They can amend those mistakes. So let's give up. Let's cheer up for our girls. They are doing better. They can do much better than this. What they have done this year. This is my input, Ruben. Nothing more.
Thank you. Let me turn to Joseph. We're talking about the just ended COSAFA tournament with Malawi as the champions. How did you make of the tournament and also the performance of the Copa Queens? Hello, Joseph. Can you hear us? Okay, it seems Joseph is still having a technical challenge. Are you there now? All right. Seem not to get Joseph. Let's turn to the Chipolopolo friendlies, shall we? We saw the Chipolopolo playing two friendlies. The first game with Egypt and the second game with Uganda. How did you make of outing so far?
Well, for me, I think a decent outing for the Chipolopolo boys. Looking back at both games, I think the level of the team, at the level at which the team is playing, I think it's fantastic. We saw against Egypt. For me, I thought the Egypt match would would see us being tested, angles, but I love the way how the boys managed to play against, go punch for punch against an Egypt team, losing practically at the death. Painful as it may be, but it was a reality check that we always need to be on alert throughout the entire 90 minutes because football is played through a 90-minute period. Going back to, I think, coming to the Uganda match, a lot of positives to see from the Uganda match compared to the Egypt one. The Egypt, yes, we played so much better against Egypt than we played against Uganda. Uganda were not at the level that Egypt was playing, and then I know some comments were made by the Uganda coach regarding our defense, but again, I think that had to do with the approach. I felt the team tried to attack more against Uganda than against Egypt. But against Egypt, we saw better chances. Chipolopolo had better chances than Egypt had. We just needed to convert them. For Uganda, I think they were way a level behind us. So it was always difficult for them to get a result against us. But so far, I think what Grant is building is good. And one thing is this: there has been comments to say Miguel Chaiwa and all of that. Look, how many games has Miguel Chaiwa played from when the league started in Switzerland? You know, how many games has he played? Yes, he played in the Champions League. Yes, people want to push Miguel into the team, but look, he's not playing at young boys. So for you to play in the national team, you honestly have to compete at your club. That is passport for you. If you play at your club, then you know you easily move into the national team. But Miguel isn't playing at club level, so you know for us bringing
Let,
him in, it,
it's not
it
just
may,
about Miguel. There's also that the regular song for now, Ami Mavika.
you know, those issues have been dragging on and on and on for a long time. But I think Mavica received his passport. Now it's up to Grant to call him. Uh, and then again, being called to the national team is not, you know, something that just because you play for a certain club, then you definitely have to be called. Just because you play in a certain continent, then you have to be called. You know, the coach has to look at how he plays, his system, and which players can fit into his system. So if you don't fit, it doesn't matter whatever level you play at. It doesn't matter if you're a star in your team. But if you don't fit in the plan of the coach, then you know it's always difficult for you to break into the team. Look at Cletus Chama. Yes, people had a lot to say after his performance against Uganda, but again, it's always difficult to say Cletus will come into the starting 11 and play on whose position. I think because the position that he plays has Kings Kangwa and also Emmanuel Banda, which according to how Grant plays, he needs the energy that Kangwa has. He needs, you know, the long range passing that Emmanuel Banda has. And then for Cletus, yes, he's good. He's a big game player, but sometimes the Grant type of way, Grant wants to play quicker if we're on the attack. For Chama may be brought in the games where we need to keep the ball more and then maybe attack less. I think that one he may help us. But majority of the games that we've played, we've required to attack, you know, intelligently. We've needed players that don't hold on to the ball too much. That has resulted in him not playing so much. But he got his chance. He got his chance, and I'm happy that he utilized it really, really well. And you know, Grant was really happy with the performance. So, you know, it's a 50-50 thing, but so far for Chipolopolo, you know, a lot of positives to pick from. And I'm happy that it's Grant here now. We'll see the World Cup qualifier coming in November, and then we get ready to see who makes it in the team for AFCON. Because, you know, a number of positions, you know, maybe, just maybe, we may need to see maybe 1, 2, 3 other players being called into the team.
Great, good to hear that. Mr. Abia, we saw first loss for Avram Grant being beaten by Egypt in the dying minutes of the game, and also we saw him with a great comeback, beating Uganda, dominating play and coming with a good victory at the end of the friendly tournament. How do you make of the outing for the Zambia men's national team?
The outing, I would say 85% out of 100. You know why I'm saying so? Because as Lamek said, in the Egypt match, we had a lot of chances, but we failed to control them, failed to take them. I think I'll start with Fashion Sakala. You know, Ruben Fashion Sakala is a good player, but sometimes he's too much selfish with the ball. You remember the dribble he made to dribble the defender, and he has only the goalkeeper to beat. And the other player was also free, that he can also give the ball, pass the ball, and then the ball was going in. So I think it's just a matter of utilizing our chances, because the history is there, Ruben. These Arab teams, when you play much better in the first half, second half going into 70 minutes, they will come and take the ball from away from you, and they start now punishing you until they give you some goals, a good number of goals. we were lucky because they only scored one. Those guys when they start attack because they know that now you are tired, so you can't do anything. The only thing that you can do is to defend. So we need to learn how to take the ball away from these Arab teams. Remember, in the AFCON group, we have Morocco, one of Arab also team that usually playing the same football that Egypt they are playing. So I think losing 1-0 to Egypt, I think it was our choice. We chose to lose. So not much to blame, but we need to blame ourselves for not taking those chances that we had. Coming to Uganda game, yes, best performance. You know, Uganda is a very good team. I remember in 2013 when it's 2013 when we were trying to qualify to the AFCON, we reached to the penalties with the Ugandans. But right now, we managed to demolish this team by 3 goals to 0. One thing that I was happy with this game, Ruben,
Yeah.
was accurate passes in the box. Okay, from right wing, because the crosses that player was making was accurate passes, which led into Fashion Sakala heading in the ball, even also Person Daka adding the third goal and the second of his. So I think those passes, that's what we need when we are playing at a big stage. So when we are going to AFCON, I think before going there, I would ask if us to have more friendlies so that these players can manage to maybe to work together to see the combination of players, how they can play. Because I see the combination of Fashion Sakala, Lamek Banda, and Person Dag up front there is actually the best. I don't see the other uh, combination to be much better than this. If Fashion Sakala removed his selfishness, we can do better in the coming tournament, Ruben.
Great, gents. I hope the screen is clear. I want us to turn to the AFCON. The groups are set for the AFCON. Group A: Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea, Guinea-Bissau. Let's look at this AFCON. Let's start with Group A. Lamek, how do you make of this group?
Yes, I was saying that if you look at like Group A, for me, I would say probably it would be called the Group of Death. I think we have two, and it's a West African group. So it has Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea, and Guinea-Bissau. You know,
Yeah.
For Guinea-Bissau, a lot can be said. For Equatorial Guinea, a lot can be said about their ranking, on the continent. But again, Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, favorites in the group. But at that level, there are simply no favorites, and there are simply no underdogs. Anyone, whoever prepares better stands a chance of reaching to the next round. If you look at the Group Bs, yes, Cape Verde have been decent, but they have a lot to prove for their ranking. I think they are a well-ranked team, but I think they haven't had so much to show for on the African continent. On the AFCONs that they've played, they haven't really, they have a lot to prove to prove to us that they are really deserve to be ranked at their level where they are ranked. But for me, so far, I think it's a good draw with a good balance. We just wait to see what games and at what level and which players will be available, because now the other issues will be player availability, because this AFCON will be played leagues in the UK's, leagues in Europe will be active, so which clubs will be able to let go of their players for the AFCON. So we'll get to see that.
All right, Mr. Abia, let's look at Group B: Egypt, Ghana, Cape Verde, Mozambique. I know most of us will say Egypt is a favorite here. I don't know how you look at this group. Who do you think the best two will qualify into the next round?
Ruben, let me say Group A and Group B to end like this, the way it is. If there will be any changes, Nigeria will
Yeah.
be on top, Cote d'Ivoire second. Then Group B, if there will be any changes, it will be going to be Ghana on top, Egypt second, and Mozambique third. But from the look of things, it went just like this. No any other changes.
No any other changes. That's what you make. But
No any
when
other
you look at
changes.
the statistics for Ghana, they're not favoring them this much. They've gone 3-4 games without a win in international games. Lamek, do you agree with Mr. Abia there?
Yes, I agree with Mr. Abia, because at that level, at the AFCON level, the big boys always come to the party most times in the group stages. So Group A, Group B, it's possible that the same way the standings are, we may see the top two teams qualifying to the next round. But again, mind you, we have a good number of the third place teams being, qualifying to the next round. So a lot to see from there, because we have about 4 teams from the number 3s will be able to qualify to the next round, the round of 16, because this is a 24-team tournament. So any team that's playing, in as much as they are playing with the heavyweights, they will try, if they're in a losing position, they'll try to lose with the lowest margin possible. And then winnable games, teams will push to score as many goals, because that will mark more of a criteria to being picked for the coming round.
All right, Group C: Senegal, Cameroon, Guinea, and Gambia. Mr. Joseph, I hope you're able to get us. I want to hear your view concerning this Group C.
Thank you very much, Ruben, and thank you to all the viewers who have stayed listening to us until this far. For me, I think Group C on paper looks like a walkover to Senegal and Cameroon, but these teams who are in this group, they all come from the same region, and sometimes being football, you would expect 1 or 2 teams to play a surprise. For me, I haven't been fully convinced with the way Cameroon has been performing lately. So I see Cameroon dropping to third and Guinea going through in Group C.
All right, thank you. Thank you for that. We need to rush of time. Group D: Algeria, Burkina Faso, Mauritania, and also Angola. And one of the southern teams in Angola participating there in Group D. Lamek, who is the favorite there? And any surprises? Do you think Angola can make it through to the second round?
Yes, Angola can pull up a surprise, but the seating of teams, the Pot A and Pot B teams, the top 2 teams always in Pot A, Pot B, are always favorites when going into these tournaments because of the high ranking. But again, this is a tournament, so you can't rule anyone out. Again, it's about preparation. Again, it's about approach to the same matches. So we may see shocker results. Look at how we saw a team such as Comoros, the Mauritanians, performing well in the in the previous tournament. So we can't rule any team out at this level. Any team that has qualified to the AFCON can actually go all the way and win it. When Zambia won the AFCON in 2012, they were not the favorites to win, but preparation, approach to the matches is what led them to win. So whoever does their homework right may actually get to a level where they get to win the tournament. For Group E, two southern teams, South Africa, Namibia,
The
Mali,
COSAFA derby.
Tunisia. Yeah, this is a really tough group. If you ask me, this is a really tough group because everyone would expect a team like Tunisia to walk over everyone, but look, South Africa no pushover, Namibia no pushover, Mali are no pushover. So it's a tough group, but you know, I think South Africa, Tunisia may actually, with all things going right, I think they may be the team to go to the round of 16.
Oh, Mr. Abia, let me bring you in. Let's go to Group F, shall we? Morocco, Congo, and that's DR Congo, Zambia, Tanzania. Do you think also this group will end the way it is?
Possibly, it can be like this, but I'll shift a little bit. Morocco and Zambia are the favorite in this group, depending on how they play football right now. They play good football, but I can't rule out DRC. So, Ruben, this is one of the group that will produce three teams in the knockout stage, because I see Zambia, DRC Congo, and Morocco qualifying into the time. Zambia and DRC, one of these two teams will qualify as best losers. And
Right.
the only groups that I doubt to produce three teams are Group B and Group D. These are the groups that I doubt. You know,
Great submission,
let me
Mr.
also
Abia.
let me also let me
Let me
also
let me bring in Mr. Joseph here. Mr. Joseph, you've heard Abia. This is a group that might produce a team that can qualify as best loser, and this prediction is either Congo or Zambia to qualify in the next round as best losers. Do you agree with his submission?
For me, Mr. Ruben, I disagree with his assertion. First, I disagree with his analysis on Group B being over. Remember what happened in 2013 when Cape Verde went all the way to the quarterfinals of that tournament. So, like what Lamek said, preparations will be very key going to this tournament.
they were not in the quarterfinal. They were booted out in the first group.
The 2013
I'm
they went all
talking,
the way to qualify.
I'm referring 2013, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so like what Lamek said, there's no pushover in this tournament. Right preparations, focus will be a key determinant going to this AFCON. So, like he stated, for me, I see Morocco and Zambia going through into this tournament.
All right, Mr. Lamek, you've heard the predictions of Mr. Joseph and Mr. Abia concerning Group F, where Zambia is. What's your analysis on this group?
I think top two, Zambia, Morocco, and then DR Congo may go through the round of 16 as best losers.
All right, thank you very much, gents. Let's move on because the Zambian Super League is back after the international break. One of the fixtures that is interesting is at Woodland Stadium. Nkana versus Napsa Stars. Both teams are using that stadium as their home. So no, there's no team that is playing away. Both of them there. But on paper, Nkana is at home. Most question that recently people are asking is how much is Nkana going to allow in terms of goals, or how much are they going to lose in terms of the scoreline? Will this continue this week? Gents, let me start with you, Mr. Abia, because you're the Nkana fan.
Yes, indeed, the Red Devils. Ruben, this is why we say uh, Zambian Super League is not so much competitive compared to the other teams, to the other Premier League, because we don't take football as serious business. Okay, coming to Nkana, we have been struggling, but we are one of the team that, in fact, not one of the team, but we are the team that we have won Zambian Super League 13 or 14 times or so, better than any other team in the Super League. But we are struggling because management is at fault, players are at fault, technical bench also decision. also at fault. But no matter how it is, whether we are going to fight delegation against Snapper Stars, yes, it will be a crucial game, but I don't expect Nkana to lose. You know, we are in a punishment of playing away from Pachirata. You know, they always give us support, those guys. So this is how we are going to see the benefit of having a soccer fan around us. So I think we have to bear with this punishment until further notice. But I'll hope for the better for Nkalampa Nkana in order for Zambian football to thrive, because it's not easy, Ruben, each and every year, each and every season, to see Zambians top two that are playing the continental football to be booted out in the first game or second game. That's not good for that's not healthy for the Zambian football. So I think we need to learn something from other teams.
All right, thanks. What's your thoughts, Joseph? Because this is a crucial game. Ghana needs to start winning if they want to survive. But most of the like every weekend we ask Ghana they're going to lose by how much or how many goals are they going to allow? What do you think about the Nkana versus Napsa game?
Kana Napsa game, a very tricky game it will be. Nkana, of course, they are coming from a backdrop of having played 7 games. They have lost 5 and have drawn 2. Very, very disappointing statistics from Nkana faithful. I'm sure Mr. Mbia can attest that things are not going well in his camp. However, Nkana have an upper hand. Nkana's upper hand has always been the 12 player, the fans. The fans have always come in numbers. Whether the team is doing bad, whether the team is trailing by 2 goals to nil, the fans always flock to the stadium. And tomorrow, if you'll be there by 14:45, you won't have anywhere to sit because the stadium will be packed by then. So for me, I see Nkana pulling a surprise tomorrow by beating Nkana. I see Nkana recording a first victory tomorrow.
First victory for Nkana. Do you agree with that, Mr. Lamek?
Tomorrow's match is really tricky. Looking at how Napsa has been performing lately, but again, Nkana are playing with a desire to pick their first 3 points of the season. Everyone will be eager to watch that match. So it's possible. For me, I think Nkana can win tomorrow's game. Not by a big margin, but maybe by a 1-0 margin. It's possible.
All right. Let's also look at the game that was played today. The military derby. We saw Green Buffaloes. Now they've won back-to-back games after beating Power Dynamos last weekend. Today they hosted Green Eagles and won by 2 goals. Good performance by Masaso Tembo's team, and things are not looking so good for Green Eagles. What is your say on this, Lamek?
You know, the Green Eagles Buffaloes match, I think Buffaloes played way better than Eagles. For Eagles, they failed to even string 5, 6, 7 passes together in one single period. They always tried to play with the second ball. They hit them long most times, so it was difficult for them to get a goal. But they looked threatening every time they went forward. But again, it's more about what Namazawa is trying to build, not really what the result is today. Because if you're trying to build a team that is, more longer lasting, that is trying to play a good brand of football, sometimes you tend to encounter so many defeats in the road, because the road to something great is always painful, and which I think the command doesn't have that time for Namazawa. So he's trying to find a way in which he can start getting results. Because look, Eagles have also undergone a change of formation. They're using a different formation compared to the one that they've been using under the former coach, and last season what the formation that we have been using. So that has been more seen Namazawa trying to build something out of the Eagles team. But again, it's up to him to now find the winning formula, start winning games, not only at home, but start winning games even away from home. For me, it's a difficult thing, but if the service can only give him more support and back him up, then I think he may, because if he stops playing so much under pressure, then I think results will start coming soon. But if he's playing under so much pressure like he is right now, sometimes teams may fail to, because genuinely, in as much as Green Buffaloes played well today, Green Eagles just conceded like really, really silly goals, like silly goals. Not because they were bad, but because of just miscommunication. And then, Green Buffaloes were highly alert in those two occasions. But a lot of positives to pick from the Green Eagles side. And for Namazaba, I wish him all the best. We'll see how he faces Trident this coming weekend.
But the bad boys for Green Buffalo Islamic, I don't know if you've observed, but the last two games, every time when Green Buffalo is leading, there is always that delay by the bad boys for Green Buffaloes.
Sometimes some teams do that. I don't know about Buffaloes, but I think some teams have that tendency to ball boys start acting funny so that they can delay the match and all of that. But for Buffaloes, I really don't know. But last time we had the Zambian Premier League, I think the Zambian Super League CEO, issuing a statement directed to all clubs to abstain from such activities. Whoever was found wanting would be severely punished. So Buffalo, I think Buffalo's won fair and square. We can't take anything away from them. Whatever happened outside the pitch, ball boys, and I think they didn't have so much impact on the match.
Great. Mr. Joseph, let me bring you to the doubleheader tomorrow. That will be taking place at Nkoloma Stadium. First game, Zanaco versus Konkola Blades. Zanaco, not a good start for them. They're in the mid-table. They need to win. Konkola Blades in the relegation zone. How do you see this game coming out?
Said they haven't lived up to the expectations. They've been 10th on the log with 10 points. 2 wins, 4 draws, and 1 loss. Not very good for a team like that, a team that has massive support from the sponsors, and like other teams that are struggling with sponsorship, Zanaco is doing pretty well on that aspect. So we expect results to start coming up. I say so because I'm a Zanaco fan, and we expect to see better results coming forward. And shall we start getting results tomorrow? It will be a very great win for us if we can manage to get a result tomorrow.
After Mr. Abia wants to come in as well?
Yes, Zanaco, the bankers. I think for tomorrow's game, Ruben, Zanaco will carry the day. I don't see the Braves cutting down the Quachas. I don't see them. Because, yes, they are struggling. They're in the bottom of the league. But, it's worrying, Ruben, for Konkola Braves and the Green Eagles. We don't want to hear the news like administrative leave. It's not really healthy for Zambian Super League. These coaches are being given administrative leave like no man's business due to the performance. But, I think we have also to see how the team is failing and why, instead of just giving administrative leave. So I think my word is to go to Konkola Braves and the Green Eagles to up their games. We don't want to hear administrative leave. No.
All right, great. Let me bring you to the second game of the doubleheader. Red Arrows will be hosting high flying Nkwazi.
I think I may give Red Arrows the win. And in their last match at at Nkoloma Stadium. They beat NAPSA by a goal to nil. So going into this match, I think with that history, I think they may go in with all positive, trying to win that match. But in Nkwazi, they've been playing like really decent football. Another thing is Mutapa, who's Nkwazi coach. He spent close to 18 months at Red Arrows. So he has that insight into Red Arrows. This is what will make that match a lot more interesting. Irrespective of the changes that Red Arrows has undergone over the past few months, but it will be an interesting match for both teams. But I think Red Arrows have better depth compared to what Nkwazi have. Nkwazi have quality, but I think they lack depth when it comes to comparison with a team like Red Arrows. So a difficult match it is, and very difficult to predict.
Right. Let's look at the game that will be taking place in Mazabuka as we wind up this program. I think one of the big games this weekend, Muza will be hosting Mfulira Wanderers. Awena Milamba, Wawine Chungulu. Let me start with you, Mr. Abia. I want to get your predictions and also your analysis for this game. It's Muza versus Mfulira Wanderers at Nakambala Stadium.
Ruben, it will be a big game, but FC Muza always get the odds and get the win. So I believe tomorrow it will be no other than 3 goals to FC Muza and 1 goal to Mufundira Wanderers.
All right, Joseph, how do you see this game? Muza, Mfulira?
Well, for me, this is a game of the week because both teams are playing very well. Mighty Mfulira Wanderers, they have recorded good results in the recent past, and they are doing well on the table standing as well. So we'd expect them to perform very well. Muza sits on position 3 on the log standing. Very impressive for a team which had back-to-back games for continental games that they've put themselves. They are performing extremely well.
And they're unbeaten.
Mighty Mfulira Wanderers, pardon?
And they're unbeaten so far.
Yeah, it's the only team which is unbeaten actually in the league so far. The only team which has no defeat, Muza FC. Yeah, and then we have got Mighty Mfulira Wanderers, a pretty good team as well. They sit on position 7 with 11 points. So only 2 points set apart Muza and Mfulira Wanderers. So this game will be very, very tricky, and it will be interesting for the fans as well.
Who do you think is going to carry the day?
For me, this will be a draw. It will be a scoreline draw.
A draw. Lamek, sum it up for us. It's Muza, Mfulira Wanderers. If you've got money, where are you going to put the money?
I think that one I'll just sum it up quickly because I think it's a Muza direct win. Mazabuka is always a difficult hunting ground, and Mighty have a very bad away record. So for me, I won't think twice about that. I think Muza will carry the day tomorrow. Tough match, yes, but I think Muza will be too good for Mighty tomorrow.
All right. Thank you very much, James. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Abia. Thank you, Lamek, for coming through. For our viewers, this is where we come to the end of our Ubuntu Sports for this weekend. Hope to join us next week, same time on Ubuntu channel. For now, it's goodbye and enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.